Sunday night special because we couldn't be here Saturday night. We were at the Bourbon and Beyond at the fair at the Kentucky Expo Fairgrounds. What's going on out there tonight? We saw a pretty heck of a show with Ringo Starr and the All-Star Band last night. I think he went on about 5:45. I thought it was maybe 5:30. 5:40. He was on the big stage. It looked to me like there was a good 10 to 15,000 people watching it. And highlights of the show, the songs they did, came out right away and did it Don't Come Easy. And then Steve Lukather from Toto did Rosanna. Hamish Stewart, that used to be in Paul McCartney and Wings for a while, or not Wings, but he was a backup for Paul McCartney for a while in his band. But he got famous from the Average White Band, and he sang Pick Up the Pieces. Then Ringo did Boys on the drums, and Colin Hay did Down Under, the famous song from Men at Work. And then Ringo Starr had everybody in the crowd singing Yellow Submarine. Mikey Arugula, you should have been there for that one. Then it was Colin Hayes' turn again with Who Can It Be Now? My son went to Men at Work at the, pretty sure it was at the Kings Island Amphitheater when he was about 10 years old, and he saw Men at Work, their first tour of America. And that's a heck of a song. And then Steve Lukather came out and did Hold the Line from Toto. And Ringo did the last 4 songs. Photograph, his #1 hit that George Harrison wrote. Octopus's Garden, another song that George helped him write. With a Little Help from Your Friends was the encore with Give Peace a Chance, and who came out but Jack White and his band, and Jack White helped sing With a Little Help from Your Friends. And we saw the Jack White concert also.
Great job.
He's a heck of a guitar shredder. He kept changing up guitars. He has a heck of a band from Nashville. And Sticker Teenager was with us, and we'd already been there 4 hours, so we walked out towards the end of the Jack White concert because it's a long way out of there, and we could hear Jack White's big White Stripes song. I think it's 7 Nation Army or Army Nation.
I thought you said Army Nation, but I don't know. Like you said, you know more than me.
And he was really rocking out there towards the end. We missed the Pixies. I saw a few videos of them this morning. They were on the smaller stage.
7 Nation Army.
7 Nation Army, thanks. And the Pixies, there's a few videos of them doing their big hits. Where Is My Mind and Monkey Gone to Heaven, a few of them on YouTube.
John H. said good evening.
How you doing, John H?
A Little Beatles Corner said hello everybody, or hi everybody. Polly says hi all. Mikey Arugula said hi Sticker family.
How you doing, Mikey Arugula?
Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Hello everyone, dear friends. Thanks Frank for posting footage from last night.
Yep.
And Danny Goldstein.
So John,
hi, folks.
John H. bought this right before the live stream. My Flowers from 1968, Rolling Stones. You can see how Brian Jones doesn't have anything on his stem, just blank, where everybody else has got at least a leaf. So he was pretty much out of the band at the time. It's in the shrink, but what makes it nice, it's the rare mono to get from 1968. So John H. bought that right before the live stream tonight. Going out to the mail to you tomorrow, John. Thanks.
Patricia said Jack White is extremely talented.
He is.
He did a great job. That was the best part of it. Like, he put on a good show. Ringo was good, but Jack White did his job.
So Mikey Arugula sent me an email on there's going to be a Ashbury Park, New Jersey from November 6th to November 8th, Thursday through Saturday. There's going to be a everything Fab 4 Fest concentrating on Rubber Soul, put on by Kenneth Womack, the author of the Mal Evans book. I don't think I have the Mal Evans book here right now. Could be right out there to your left, though. But he's a famous, right behind there. No, all right. Well, anyway, we're going to try to make it there, Mikey. I don't know if we'll get there Thursday, but we could be there for Friday and Saturday, November 6th through the 8th. So thanks for letting us know about that. It's kind of, don't know what's going to go on there, but Kenneth Womack has wrote a lot of Beatle books, and he used to be on a podcast. I thought he was on Talk podcast at one time. Phil Harbour got a hold of me a couple days ago, and we worked out a deal on 3 1964-65. 2 of them are wallets. One's a Florida wallet, one's a World's Fair wallet, and the other one's from Portugal, but I don't think it's a wallet. I think it's like a letter holder or something. But they'll be coming from London. I worked out a deal and paid for it today from Phil Harbour, the man that him and Pat Graham are going to put out the new Beatles price guide on memorabilia. They're heads of the Beatlebilia. I think that's what you call it. Mikey would know better than I do. Beatlebilia on, I get Facebook notifications from them all the time. They have some of the biggest collections in the world. They live in England. I think Mikey Arugula, he did a long video on his son's channel with Pat Graham. It's about an 1.5-hour video. You should check it out. That's my wristband I had on last night for the Bourbon and Beyond. We were leaving at about the right time because everybody was getting pretty drunk there.
Yeah.
The beer was flowing and the bourbon was flowing, and mostly only credit cards work there. Cash doesn't work at a big place like that.
They had alcohol and water. That's it, man. Y'all couldn't have no like lemonade or something. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no. I think there were some
people that don't drink. What are you supposed to do?
There were some sodas behind the counter, but that was about it. But then this weekend they're going to have the Louder Than Life at the same place. So all the Bourbon and Beyond promo material has to come down, and it'll be Louder Than Life, but they'll have the same big stage, I'm sure, that we saw Ringo Starr at.
John H. said, thank you, Frank, for that album. And then Little Beatles Corner said, what is it with the UK tariffs on eBay now?
UK what, tariffs?
Tariffs, whatever.
Yeah, I sent the money to Phil Harbour, and he said, did you send this family and friends through PayPal? And I did, but he didn't get the whole amount. So there's something going on different when money going back and forth from London right now, from England. We're going to do a seal to reveal a little bit on this Hot Rocks to see if it has the 2 outtakes. It probably doesn't, since it has the hype sticker on top, but I think it's cool to open an album that's 50 years old. We'll do that in a little bit. What else we got going on here? The Billboard UK charts this week on the singles. Golden from the K-pop Demon Hunter Girls is #1 for the 5 weeks in a row now. Sabrina Carpenter's #3 with Tears. Uncle Paul liked that. And Sombra is his 3rd big hit now, 12 to 12, is in the top 10. So he's had 3 big hits now in the last couple months. Not bad for a 19-year-old. On the UK album charts, Sabrina's #1 with Man's Best Friend. And if you can believe this, Fleetwood Mac is #5 with 50 Years Don't Stop. They really like Fleetwood Mac in England. Sombra's #14 with I Barely Knew Her And Chapel is still in the top 20 with The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess is at number 18.
Uncle Paul says, thanks, Frank. Go Sabrina. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, Sabrina's doing pretty good. She's got a heck of a to go up against that K-pop. I tried to watch the 90-minute on Netflix the other day of the K-pop Demon Hunters. I kind of had to skip through it. You got to really be into that animated stuff, and I'm not really used to that.
Nope.
On the Spotify charts right now, Daisy's with Justin Bieber is number 1. Sabrina's number 2 with Tears. My summer song, Love Me Not by Ravane Lene, is at number 4. And Back to Friends from Sombra is number 5. And Chaperone is number 6 with The Subway. My youngest son says they're even playing Chaperone now on the local Louisville public media station 91.9. He says they're playing The Subway, Pink Pony Club, and Good Luck Babe. So they must think she's already a legend here at the public station here in Louisville. So that's pretty cool.
Records and Trains says, guess who's finally made it? Appreciate you.
All right, Records and Trains. You're the 14, 15-year-old, correct? So we got this Ringo Starr poster from 1989. Ringo Starr and his all-star band. This was the early version of when I saw him at Deer Creek Amphitheater in 1989. He had Dr. John, Billy Preston, Joe Walsh, Niels Lofgren, Rick Danko from the band, Levon Helm from the band, Jim Keltner. I talked about Jim Keltner. He's a session drummer.
I lift it up because they can't see the bottom.
And Clarence Clemens. All right, you can roll that up to that side. Got this in the other day with a Beatles memorabilia lot. This is an original 1964 piece in Terry Crane's book. This is the rare one that's got the zipper on the back. Got the brass handles, vinyl, and then cloth inside. Made by DAME Belt and Bag Corporation, 1964. And that is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. If you're interested. I had a heck of a week on eBay last week. It was the best week I've had in over a year. This is 10-inch by 10-inch, made out of vinyl, and it's got a working zipper. A lot of them didn't have a pouch on the back, but this one's got the zippered pouch on the back. Mikey, do you have a zippered pouch on the back of yours? All right.
Records and Trains said, yep, talking about the 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah. Are you 15 now? Records and Trains. So, butcher cover second. This was the stereo butcher cover that Mikey was interested in the other day. Went out on eBay 2 days ago. Went out for $1,600. And this is the mono butcher cover I peeled from the Asheville, North Carolina record show. This didn't come out quite as good as the stereo. The glue was stuck on there pretty good. That's a removed trunk slip. And the price on that is $900 shipped before I put it on eBay. A Scranton 3 mono East Coast. Got the strong horizontal glue lines.
And Records and Trains said, nope, gonna turn 14 in November. And then Mikey just texted me. And yeah, we know Mikey. I just haven't helped him box it up yet. But yeah, this is Mikey's.
Yeah,
Mikey's already paid
Mike
for
Rugo has already paid for this. So a couple
I've just
other
been
people.
busy with the football games and everything else this weekend and the concert and everything.
One of my viewers says I didn't explain this very good on our live stream because Mikey Arugula wouldn't shut up. So Mikey, you're not talking now. I can talk about it. Beatles Anthology 3, a 3D poster. They're not life size, but it's pretty tall.
Hold on, let me.
So about 5'8" tall, and that's the original shipping box. Mikey, we're gonna double put it back in there and double box it. Send it out tomorrow with your cards. That's pretty cool.
He said
piece.
cool. Alright. Yeah, sorry, Mikey. That was on me. I just had too much going on. He needed help boxing it up. He didn't want to try and do it by himself, so.
Yeah, we have to take it apart on the back and fold it back up and put it back in the shipping box. Alright.
I'll
There's
take
at least a few people watching where I can open this up.
Yeah, a couple. Not really, I guess, because football, we're going against the NFL today. So
NFL.
much harder.
Alright, sealed reveal of a early I think this came out in 1972 on London Records. This is when Alan Klein still had control of the old Rolling Stones tracks. He pretty much put this out without the Rolling Stones' permission. The Rolling Stones had already gone on to Sticky Fingers at the same time. This is a 1972 second pressing of Sticky Fingers with his tongue hype sticker. Met a couple women at the Asheville, North Carolina, and they said they were interested in the Rolling Stones album with the red tongue on it. And we couldn't figure out what they were talking about. And then I finally figured out they were talking about the inner sleeve of Sticky Fingers. First time the red tongue was revealed to the world. The zipper hasn't even been taken down. It's still in the shrink. That's on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. All right, Rolling Stones. What else I got in Rolling Stones? I have a sealed first press of the recalled cover with all the women on it and the hype sticker for Miss You, 1978. Got a one that's been opened up. Notice the difference in colors. I don't know if that was East Coast or West Coast, so they just put out a lot of different. Wanted people to buy all the different variants with the different colors. And got a UK pressing of their Santanic Majesties Requests with a lenticular cover. And a sealed black and blue from, I think it's 1980 or 81. Black and blue has an original price tag from Music Bar South Sound. It had a suggested retail price of $6.98 and it was marked down to $4.99. It's got the hype sticker with all the titles on the back. Factory sealed from corner to corner with 4 square corners. That would be 44 years old now.
Paul should not be allowed to die. Guy said he liked it when they actually had hair, and it was considered long though in '64 when they had their hair like this, because that's considered long hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Paul is the clean shaven one there. This is towards the very end, last picture, posed with the Beatles. And John's got the long beard, and Ringo's got a mustache, and George is clean shaven. Somebody sent me a message on one of my YouTube videos I put up yesterday. It says, Ringo Starr went from a world-class band to a
Muppet.
To a karaoke Muppet. They said, wow. And I didn't think that was a very cool comment. I didn't take it down, but I'd say Ringo Starr is more than just a karaoke Muppet.
I mean, he did his job.
He's pretty good as a singer for 85 years old.
He
got up, ran onto the stage, and
the crowd was excited.
Yeah.
Everybody was going like.
Here we go, a sealed reveal of a over a 50-year-old album. Doesn't look like it's got the original inner sleeves. got to be a later pressing. And we have to look at side 4. See the matrices. I'd say this is a later pressing. We'll have to see if it's got the insert. Let's see if the original insert's in here. Nope, no insert. So this must be like a 73, 74 pressing. And I'm sure it's not going to have the right dead wax on side 4. Nope, later pressing doesn't have the outtakes of Brown Sugar and Wild Horses. I've had that a couple times. So that's my sealed reveal.
Let's see. Paul should not be allowed said the Stones should be doing more vinyl reissuing and box sets because their legacy has lagged, especially to. I'm not gonna say all that, but I know what you mean.
So here's that print I made from the. Show me that Connie Dene book.
And then Records and Trades, when Ringo came on, he was signing, running, cussing like he was a team.
Connie Denavi,
Oprah, I guess is what he's
the
talking
steak
about.
that I bought. I showed this, I think during Mikey's live stream we did the other day. But this is when they first came to America, June 2nd, 1964 at Kennedy Airport. And you can notice the girl in the middle. It's got the promo of the very first Rolling Stones album, probably one of the first ones. They probably brought it with them and presented it to the girl. And here's what the original piece looks like. It's got promotional copy, not for sale on there. And it's a textured cover. And it's got the promo label, London FFRR, not for sale. So that's pretty cool. I matched it up with a photo. I sold one set of the Jimmy Page and Andy Warhol photos, sold for $59 on eBay yesterday. And I made copies of 4 copies of each of these, one at the photographer, what do you call them, Photoshop. So I have another set of these are made from the original negatives with Andy Warhol, Jimmy Page, and Keith Relf, the original lead, or the only lead singer for the Yardbird. He's no longer with us, and Andy's no longer with us. But Jimmy Page sure looks pretty young. Jimmy Page was a heck of a session musician before he was in Led Zeppelin. He's played on more hits than you can imagine. Led Zeppelin moment. Led Zeppelin. Put the Rolling Stones away. We'll have a Phil Spector moment.
We don't get political on this channel, so anything that goes with that stuff, we just don't talk about.
Led Zeppelin 1. This is not the turquoise. This is the second pressing from the United Kingdom. It's got a corrected matrix on it. The red plum label. And I would sell that in excellent condition. I would sell that for $200. Led Zeppelin 1. It's got a set of corrected matrix. The turquoise was an incorrected matrix, and then they changed it. So this is a little better sounding than the turquoise. Got a laminated cover. 1969, early 1969. This is the difference in color between the United States and the United Kingdom. United States, see how the orange is a little different, yellow and orange. Jimmy Page, the producer of this album.
Oh, you're good, bud.
Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. I sold my sealed one. This is a first pressing in the shrink of Houses of the Holy with the belly band and both hype stickers that are affixed to the shrink. Contains the hit single Dire Maker. Somebody's gonna tell me I said that wrong. That's my Led Zeppelin moment.
Please give a like and subscribe. Appreciate it very much. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the videos from the concert.
We have like 20 watching.
22.
Alright. So do the trivia question thing.
Yeah, we can do that.
We got a trivia question coming up here, a contest coming up here in a second.
What are you doing
For
in the
the-
box?
Yeah. So this is a Phil Spector Christmas album released 1972 on Apple Records. And it's got a hand-signed check in here. Hand-signed check from Phil Spector. Somebody had a bunch of these and I got a hold of one of them on eBay. Phil Spector, the man that came right behind the Beatles the first time they came down off the plane in America, February 7th, Phil Spector was right behind him. This is the Beatles album that they talk about that you got to keep it passing on to younger generations. In the year 2000, this came out, Beatles won. It was number one in like 25 countries in the world. Got the whole nother crowd interested in the Beatles. Beatles won 27 classic number one singles. And what big hit was not on these? There's two big hits that are not on here that people kind of got upset about. Please Please Me is not on here, and Strawberry Fields Forever is not on here. All right, trivia contest time. We're going to give, I have an extra one of this Beatles 2018 4 LP set. Anniversary 4 LP set. Two of them are the remix by Giles Martin, and two of them are the Escher demos.
So Beatles Corner wants to know the condition of the Spector album.
The Spector album. The Christmas album is got a couple, would be very good plus. It's got a couple marks on it. It's mostly about that signed check. But I'd sell that, Patricia, for $75, the album and the signed check. All right. Now our trivia contest time. Here we go. Hold that up. Here's the 3 questions. You gotta have your answers all in the same message to win this 2018 box set. I had an extra one. Number 1, what was the original title of the White Album? What was the original title of the White Album? Number 2, what month of 1968 were the Escher demos recorded at George's home in Esher? What month of 1968 were the Escher demos recorded in George Harrison's home in Esher? Number 3, what brand of recording equipment, the tape machine, was used to record the Escher demos? What brand did George Harrison own and recorded the Escher demos on? Those are my 3 questions.
Who's up first? Tick, tick, tick.
Let's see. Got to show the Rolling Stones.
No, John, that's wrong. Holly, that's wrong. Y'all are close, but I'm not going to tell you which one's right and which one's wrong, but...
Boy, you're getting, you guys are real close. Holly's close. What was the original title of the White Album? What month of 1968 were the Escher demos recorded at George's home in Esher? What kind of recording equipment was used to record the Escher demos? What brand?
Paul's putting things in different ones. Nope.
John H. You're the closest.
But we gotta get there. Come on.
Uncle Paul's didn't have 3 answers there.
Nope, Daniel. Nope, Uncle
Oh,
Paul.
Uncle Paul's got it. Way to go, Uncle Paul.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we put May.
Yeah, way to go, Uncle Paul. You win this, Uncle Paul. Hopefully you don't have this yet. What was the original title of the White Album? A Doll's House. What month of 1968 were the Escher demos recorded at George's home? In May. What kind of recording equipment, what kind of tape machine was used to record the Escher demos? At Ampex. A-M-P-E-X. Way to go, Uncle Paul.
Daniel, the first one I see is June, and then when you said May, Uncle Paul showed up first. Like on ours, it shows Uncle Paul and then you, Daniel. So, I mean, you had the right answer, but it shows you came up after Uncle Paul. Like I said, I could show you all it. It's what it shows there. I just go by what it tells me.
Does Daniel have that box set? I got 2 of them.
He said, maybe it didn't go through, that's fine. Uncle Paul says, I need that. Thanks, Frank, I'm thrilled.
All right, we're just giving one away to Uncle Paul. Try next time, Daniel. You were awful dang close. So I had these yellow, show me that plastic bag, yellow bag behind there. I got these 5 in a Rockaway when he bought a whole Beatles collection near Chicago from Wayne Johnson. Rockaway in Los Angeles. They had some pretty good things on their website. And I only have 2 of these left of these sealed Yellow Submarine 1968 switch plates. I sold the other 3 on my eBay STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. And I'd sell these for $100 shipped separately. Got the Yellow Submarine and the, call that the Apple Bunkers. Mikey Rugler probably knows the official title of that. On the bottom it says KFS Subfilms Limited 1968. $100 shipped for either one. All right, we talked about that. We talked about the poster. Bob Dylan. Did my workout on my mini trampoline an hour ago, and I listened to Led Zeppelin 1 side, and I listened to the long version of Everything Counts by Depeche Mode. I remember seeing Depeche Mode in 1989 at River Bend Music Center when I had, from 97X, they gave me fourth row center tickets, and I had backstage passes to see Depeche Mode and OMD that had the big hit from that movie, Orchestra Maneuvers in the Dark. But anyway, when I saw the Depeche Mode and the backstage, they all had their chaps on. I got their autographs and didn't hang around very long.
Mikey said Turks.
The what?
I don't know what he's saying. He said Turks. Did you say something earlier?
Turks. I don't know.
Turks.
I don't know. Turks.
I'm confused.
But anyway, that's a heck of a 12-inch. That's one of those British, BBC British copies I had. It was only checked out one time, so it just plays perfect. Long version of Everything Counts. Really sounds great. Audiophile pressing on that 12-inch record.
Is it Snapping Turtle Turks?
Oh, Snapping Turks. Yeah, okay, that's a Snapping Turk. Got it. Thanks, Mikey. That's the Apple Bunkers. They're those great big tall people. Bob Dylan. Can't believe I didn't sell this in Nashville. A couple people looked at it, but nobody pulled the trigger. Early 1970s, Bob Dylan greatest hits in the shrink with the Hype Sticker contains giant full color Dylan wall poster. My buddy Kevin from Kevin Records says he sold at least 15 of these posters that I'm going to show you. And the poster is in here. Milton Glaser big wall poster of Bob Dylan. One of the first large posters they put in albums. Pretty cool, isn't it? Perfect shape. What do you think of YouTube where they have Bob Dylan's latest show where he has a hat on and he's covered by different things and lighting so you can't really see him at all on stage? He's a little bit of a strange character, Bob Dylan. Would he be about, he'd be about Ringo's age, about 84, 83. He might be a little younger than Ringo. Ringo was a heck of a performer last night at 85 years old. I'll give him that. Sgt. Pepper, showing the Sgt. Pepper US versus the UK. The US first version, the stereo had that yellow banner on the top. Mikey's got the original slick that goes, I guess, on the outside there, that slick that's glued on. He's got the original complete slick he showed in one of his videos. But there can't be any NIMS Enterprises here on the border. That'd be a later pressing. And it's got to have that red psychedelic inner sleeve printed in the USA down there. In the UK, stereo didn't have the banner on top. It was hard to tell if you had a stereo or a mono. You had to look real close up here to see what you had. This one has a mono cover, but has a stereo record. So I just think that they just put them out there as fast as they could put them together, and there were probably a lot of mismatches. You had to, in England, they would have the cover, they weren't factory shrink, so they'd have the cover out in the store, but the records were all behind the counter. So you wouldn't know if you had a mono or stereo until you actually looked at the record. And it's got the original inner sleeve from England. It's got Revolver on the one side. And it's got the cutout sheet, thick cutout sheet.
Paul should not be allowed to say, Frank, you went to a lot of the same concerts I did at the same time here in Vancouver.
All right. So Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band played in Chicago a couple of days ago. There's a big review on that. And they said he did a heck of a job in Chicago also. So that's the first time I've ever been to Bourbon and Beyond. They really put a lot of work at the fairgrounds and making it operate. They had employees everywhere. They had little golf carts everywhere to help some people that needed help to get to their car, from their cars to the gate. And it was well run, except it's you just got to get used to credit card only now at all the booths.
John H. said, when I bought a U.S. First Press Magical Mystery Tour in 1967, it had the psychedelic inner sleeve.
Yeah, the psychedelic inner sleeve. This is a 68 UK pressing. It's why it doesn't have the psychedelic inner sleeve, but the US does have it. They quit, in the United Kingdom, they quit putting the psychedelic sleeve in there a year after it had been released. And there are some pressings that when the BBC banned A Day in the Life, they got A Day in the Life on the B-side, but it's not listed on the label. I had that one time. I sold it for $350. I probably sold it too cheap. And Dave Clark 5 moment. Not going to be on here much longer. It's a special Sunday thing. And we'll be back on Wednesday. I have a lot of stuff coming in the mail. There's the Dave Clark 5's first version of A Glad All Over with the no instruments. You guys are probably just used to seeing the cover with the instruments. That's a pretty rare cover of the Dave Clark 5. And then there's my two true stereo pressings from the early 70s. That's the England Dave Clark 5, 25 Thumpin' Great Hits. And that's the US true stereo 2 LP gatefold cover that has four sides. This has a lot more stereo tracks that I've never seen before. Having a Wild Weekend. This has got Bernadette on it. This has got all those songs that when they played the Ed Sullivan Show 18 times, they played most of these songs. Mikey Ruga can't hardly believe that they were on the Ed Sullivan 18 times, but that had to do with Connie Denavi of being buddies with Ed Sullivan and kept getting him on the Ed Sullivan Show. She was backstage with Peter Noon when he was 17, and he was so nervous, and she says, and he was going to do Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter, and Henry the Eighth I Am. She says, calm down, you'll be fine. And they were. And I think I Am Henry the Eighth I Am went straight to #1 after they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. So Connie Denavi was a heck of a publicist back there in the 60s. She had an all-female crew. All right. So
and then John H. said they must have had some of those inner sleeves left over because I got the psychedelic one in my Magic Mystery Tour.
Oh yeah.
He's talking Magic.
Oh
Mystery
yeah,
Tour.
Magical Mystery Tour. You're right. I know what you're talking about. The psychedelic sleeve came in the Magical Mystery Tour in the United States also. The only Magical Mystery Tour I have is the one that the true audiophile, true stereo pressing that blows all the other pressings away. The German 1977 with A1, B3. And then we got our other audiophile 2-cut pressings. We got the Beatles for Sale, we got the Revolver, and we got the Rubber Soul. So Kenneth Womack is going to do a big presentation, I guess, on Rubber Soul in New Jersey in November. I think he's wrote like 10 books on the Beatles. He's quite the expert. This is a military export. It was discounted at $250 for the military people that were on the what do you call them? The bases, military bases.
Military base.
Yeah, and this is a true 2-cut -3 stereo of Rubber Soul. And then I have the.
There you go, because Mikey's complaining. What happened to Beatles for Sale tonight?
There it is, Beatles for Sale, 2-cut -1. Beatle Ron's gonna have to play, or Beatle Don there, Mikey's gonna have to play you Beatles for Sale. And you'll understand what this is all about.
Paul should not be allowed to die again. Said Amvoc and Locke and old Procco. So little time, so much to know. A quote from the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
You know who said that?
Probably John Lennon. Who did say it? They had I think Steve Lucifer was saying John Lennon parts last night in the show. They've had some of it pre-recorded, and I think also. Rubber
Jeremy
Soul.
Hillary Boob?
Oh, from the Nowhere Man?
I guess.
Yeah. In the Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
The Little Nowhere Man. So this is the Revolver pressing from 77 in Germany. And if you haven't heard Revolver until you hear this pressing, Mikey, I'm going to have to bring this with me to New Jersey so you can hear this Revolver. It'll blow you away. I think that is it from Louisville, Kentucky. Show the butcher covers. Talk about these singles for a second. Strawberry Fields, my picture sleeve from 1967. That's on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. And we'll go out with they were supposed to release this in America, Roll Over Beethoven, on Capitol Records. And George Martin says, hold the presses. I got something better than that. So that's the original company sleeve, the way they were sold in early '64 in Canada. So George Martin said, we got this song ready to go. This is a song you need to release. And he was right. It was #1 within 2 weeks. The rare stock picture sleeve there is, Mikey Arugula. $1,800. They only made one pressing of them. This came from Perry Cox. It's in near mint shape. Afraid to even touch the thing. All right.
Uncle Paul said good night, friends, and thanks, Frank. Mikey said adios, and Little Beatles Corner said thank you, Frank and Travis.
All right. Thanks a lot for checking us out on a Sunday night so we could go to the show last night, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you.